There is a subtle voice that hums beneath the noise of the world, a murmur softer than the wind, yet stronger than thunder. It is the whisper of wealth. Few hear it, yet it is always speaking, always listening, always responding to the tone of our inner word. For money, like all divine manifestations, is not deaf to the heart that calls it with faith, gratitude, and certainty. You see, abundance does not come through striving, nor through fear, nor through the desperate grasping of the mind. It comes through harmony, the alignment of thought, word, and belief with the eternal principle of supply. Money is not a master but a servant, and it moves toward the one who speaks its name with authority and love. It is sensitive to vibration, to emotion, to conviction. When one declares, "I am rich in substance, rich in spirit, rich in opportunity," the unseen forces of life begin to arrange themselves in answer to that decree. The world has taught many to chase money, to labor for it, to plead for it, but the law of prosperity is the reverse. You do not run after money, you magnetize it. You become so conscious of plenty, so radiant with the feeling of supply, that money, opportunities, and blessings cannot help but find you. They are drawn by the song of your certainty. For the law is perfect. That which you claim in spirit, you must receive in form. There are those who speak lack, and lack listens. There are those who speak abundance, and abundance listens. The universe is impartial. It simply mirrors the tone of your declaration. If you say, "I never have enough," the law nods and repeats, "So be it." If you say, "I am surrounded by wealth, I live in a sea of supply," that same law responds, "So it is." The secret is not in the words alone, but in the feeling that vibrates behind them. The feeling of truth is the power that moves mountains, the invisible magnet that draws every good thing. Money is alive in its own mysterious way. It is energy, pure, flowing, responsive. It does not resist or rebel. It obeys the tone of your inner conviction. It hears the whisper of gratitude, the quiet assurance of one who knows their wealth is divine and ever-renewing. It listens when you bless it, when you treat it as sacred, when you see it not as paper and number, but as a symbol of universal good made visible. To those who doubt, money hides. To those who believe, it reveals. The whisper of wealth is not a shout, it is a knowing. It says, "I am already here, waiting for you to recognize me." The moment you cease to struggle and begin to speak wealth's name with reverence and joy, it turns its ear toward you. It hears the song of your spirit and answers, "I am yours, for we have always been one." Thus, speak with confidence, think with faith, feel with certainty. For money listens only to the voice that knows its divine source, and that voice is within you. Wealth responds to belief, not effort. It is one of the most misunderstood truths in the world, for humanity has long been taught that labor, struggle, and endless striving are the only doors through which prosperity enters. Yet the great law of mind reveals something far deeper, far gentler, and far more powerful, that the outer world is but a mirror of inner conviction. Wealth is not the child of toil but of belief. It takes shape from the thought programmers you hold and the emotional atmosphere you create within yourself. Effort without belief is like sowing seeds in barren soil. You may work, plan, and strive, yet if deep within you lies the conviction of limitation, your labor returns to you as emptiness. The mind is the builder, the hands merely shape what the mind has already conceived. A person may struggle for years, but if in their heart they quietly believe that wealth is difficult, elusive, or reserved for others, their actions, no matter how disciplined, will bear the fruit of that hidden belief. For the invisible always governs the visible, and belief is the blueprint through which energy molds itself into form. When one begins to understand that wealth is consciousness, the entire landscape of life transforms. You stop chasing, you stop fearing, and you begin to realize that abundance does not need to be created. It needs to be revealed. It already exists in infinite form, waiting for the channel of your faith to open wide enough to let it flow. The universe is rich beyond measure. Lack exists only in thought. When you believe in poverty, you experience its shadow. When you believe in supply, you enter the flow of that reality. Your belief tunes your vibration to the frequency of abundance, and that vibration becomes your point of attraction. Belief is not mere wishing. It is not daydreaming about riches while secretly expecting disappointment. True belief is calm assurance, a quiet knowing that what is desired is already present in spirit. It carries no tension, no anxiety, no struggle. It is the same kind of belief a child holds when expecting the dawn, unforced, innocent, and absolute. Such faith is magnetic. It draws substance from the invisible and shapes it into visible manifestation. Wealth, sensing this confident frequency, gravitates naturally toward it, as though recognizing its own reflection. Many live under the illusion that effort alone produces prosperity. They labor long hours, make endless plans, and exhaust their strength in pursuit of something that can only be drawn, not chased. Effort is the visible expression of belief, and it has value only when aligned with inner conviction. Without belief, effort becomes resistance. It creates friction rather than flow. But when effort springs from faith, when every action is performed with the certainty that success is already assured, that effort becomes joyful, inspired, and fruitful. Belief is the seed from which all abundance grows. The moment you believe yourself worthy of wealth, the moment you know that the universe delights in your prosperity, invisible channels begin to open. You meet the right people, ideas arise effortlessly, doors once closed begin to move. The outer world rearranges itself according to the tone of your inner word. The same task that once felt impossible now unfolds smoothly because your belief has aligned you with the rhythm of divine supply. There are those who say, "I will believe when I see results," yet the law works in reverse. You must believe first, then you will see. For seeing is the harvest, but believing is the sowing. Every circumstance in your life today was planted in the soil of yesterday's thought. If you wish to change the harvest, you must plant new beliefs. The mind, when filled with images of wealth, gratitude, and success, becomes a magnet for corresponding conditions. The universe cannot deny what you inwardly claim as true. Effort belongs to the world of form. Belief belongs to the world of spirit. When you act from fear, your energy scatters. When you act from faith, your energy multiplies. The one who believes deeply may accomplish in moments what another cannot achieve in years, not because they work harder, but because their inner state is attuned to the flow of supply. They have ceased to resist. They no longer send out the vibration of "I need" or "I lack," for they know that wealth responds to the consciousness of already having. To believe in wealth is not arrogance, but reverence. It is acknowledging the infinite abundance of life itself and accepting your divine right to partake in it. The earth is not stingy, the sun gives light without measure, the ocean gives waves without counting, and the universe gives ideas without limit. To believe that you must earn, beg, or struggle for good is to misunderstand the nature of creation. You are not separate from the source of wealth. You are an expression of it. When you believe in that truth, the outer symbols of abundance, money, success, opportunities, naturally gravitate toward you. True belief also dissolves envy and competition. You no longer look upon the prosperity of others as a threat or comparison, for you understand that the supply of the universe is limitless and personal. The wealth that comes to another cannot diminish yours, for you are not drawing from the same reservoir of limited resources, but from the infinite fountain of spirit. Belief frees you from fear, for fear is the shadow of disbelief. The moment you believe that the source of your good is within and inexhaustible, fear disappears like mist before the morning sun. Belief has sound, color, and vibration. It speaks silently into the fabric of reality. When you believe in abundance, every word you speak carries a tone of certainty that the universe cannot ignore. Your affirmations become alive with creative energy, your thoughts grow luminous with possibility, and your very presence begins to radiate the frequency of wealth. People sense it, opportunities sense it, life begins to mirror it back to you. The wealthy person is not one who possesses much, but one who believes deeply in the abundance of all things. The mind trained in truth no longer says, "I must work harder to earn more," but rather, "I must believe more deeply to receive more fully." Work then becomes an instrument of joy, not of struggle. Actions flow naturally from inspiration, and effort becomes effortless. The gardener who believes in the coming bloom tends the soil with love, not worry. The believer in abundance moves through life the same way, knowing that their prosperity is inevitable because it already exists in the unseen. Belief turns obstacles into stepping stones. Where another sees delay, the believer sees preparation. Where another sees lack, the believer sees the invisible supply forming. This consciousness transforms even difficulty into opportunity. It removes resistance from the heart and allows the flow of good to move freely. When belief is strong, no circumstance can oppose it for long, for matter itself is compelled to obey the higher law of mind. To believe in wealth is to live as though it were already yours. You think richly, speak richly, give richly, and expect richly. You align your inner tone with gratitude rather than complaint, with confidence rather than worry. This is the language money understands. Not fear, not effort, but assurance. The universe listens not to what you wish, but to what you believe. Your belief is your command, your signature upon the infinite field of possibility, and the wealth you experience is simply the echo of that inner decree. Money is a servant that obeys vibration. This principle, though subtle, is the cornerstone of understanding how wealth truly functions in the life of any individual. Many people labor under the misconception that money is a force outside of themselves, something to be pursued, captured, or persuaded through sheer effort. Yet, in truth, money is a living current of energy, responsive to the tone, frequency, and quality of the thoughts and emotions that are directed toward it. It is not the physical coin, the paper note, or the number in a bank account that governs wealth. It is the invisible, vibrating essence behind the material form. Everything in life is energy, and money is no exception. It moves, circulates, and manifests according to laws that are spiritual rather than mechanical. To understand this is to step into the role of a conscious creator. Money listens, not to frantic striving or anxious worry, but to the vibrations emitted from the mind and heart. It aligns itself with harmony, expectation, and joy. The one who fears scarcity or doubts their worth emits a vibration that repels abundance, while the one who believes in the inexhaustible supply of life and radiates confidence attracts it naturally. Consider the mind as a tuning fork. When your thoughts, words, and feelings resonate with the energy of abundance, the vibrations you emit call forth similar energy in the world around you. Money flows toward the vibration it recognizes. It cannot resist it, because the universe itself is composed of the same energy. To those who sense only limitation, money appears absent or elusive, no matter how diligently they work. To those who sense expansion, money appears as a natural, inevitable part of life, as though the world conspires in their favor. The law of vibration is impartial. Money does not judge or choose favorites. It simply moves toward resonance. It obeys the tone of your inner world with absolute fidelity. When you are grateful, when you feel secure and worthy, when your mind holds a clear and unwavering vision of prosperity, money is magnetically drawn toward that vibration. Conversely, worry, fear, and desperation produce vibrations that push money away. The more one understands that money is a responsive servant, the more one realizes the futility of force, coercion, or struggle in attaining it. This principle also explains why some who work harder than others remain poor while others, with seemingly less effort, prosper. It is not the action that determines the flow of wealth, but the vibrational state underlying that action. Two individuals may perform the same task with equal diligence, yet one may attract success and financial reward, while the other meets frustration and limitation. The difference lies not in the physical labor, but in the invisible frequency of belief, expectation, and feeling. Money responds to inner harmony rather than outer effort. The science of vibration teaches that every thought carries a magnetic quality. Thoughts of worry, fear, and lack produce vibrations that repel, while thoughts of confidence, gratitude, and expectation attract. The words you speak, the images you hold in your mind, and the emotions you cultivate all serve as signals to the universe. Money hears these signals and moves accordingly. When you declare in your heart and mind, "I am abundant, I am wealthy, I am open to receive," you are creating a magnetic field that money cannot resist. It responds to the frequency, not the form. Understanding money as a servant also transforms your approach to financial opportunity. You begin to see wealth not as something to be conquered or wrestled into existence, but as an ally, responsive and loyal to your inner state. This realization frees you from anxiety, from frantic effort, and from the illusion that struggle alone produces prosperity. The key is alignment, not aggression. Flow, not friction. Money moves toward those who resonate with its essence and mirrors the emotional and mental patterns of the one who calls it. Many fail to recognize the vibrational law because they focus exclusively on the physical realm. They equate work with results, hours with success, and effort with reward. Yet this is the world of form, and form is merely the reflection of energy. Money, as energy, is obedient only to the invisible law of resonance. The one who understands this works not harder, but wiser, cultivating a state of mind and heart that money naturally follows. Inner harmony, gratitude, joy, and unwavering belief become the instruments through which wealth is summoned. Money's obedience to vibration also reveals the importance of self-worth. The vibration you emit is shaped by your perception of yourself, your relationship with abundance, and your sense of deserving. Those who feel unworthy, who doubt their capacity to receive, unconsciously emit a frequency that repels wealth. Conversely, those who recognize their innate right to abundance, who affirm their value, and who align with the principle of giving and receiving, produce a vibration that attracts money effortlessly. Money follows the energy of confidence, expectation, and positive anticipation. The interaction between money and vibration extends to every facet of life. Your financial reality is a direct mirror of your inner landscape. Fear, resentment, impatience, or greed distort the vibration and obstruct the flow. Calmness, trust, generosity, and clarity amplify it. By nurturing a mind and heart attuned to abundance, you transform not only your financial situation, but also your experience of life itself. Money ceases to be a problem and becomes a responsive servant, a reflection of your inner state, obedient to the harmony you cultivate. When one begins to live consciously within this principle, money no longer elicits struggle or tension. One speaks of wealth with assurance, thinks of money with clarity, and handles it with reverence and gratitude. Every interaction with finances becomes a moment of alignment, a reinforcement of vibrational harmony. Money, in turn, responds with loyalty, flowing where it is respected, welcomed, and understood. The greater your inner alignment, the more effortlessly it manifests, proving the eternal truth that it is not the effort of the hand, but the vibration of the soul that calls forth prosperity. The mastery of money as a servant requires careful attention to thought, word, and feeling. Negative beliefs, old patterns of limitation, or habitual worry can distort the signal and block its flow. Positive, focused, and expectant consciousness, on the other hand, strengthens the vibration of wealth, enhancing your magnetic influence. Each act of generosity, gratitude, or affirmation reinforces the current, guiding money to your service. This understanding invites a new relationship with abundance, one of trust, alignment, and co-creation, where money becomes responsive to your conscious vibration, rather than an independent force to be chased, controlled, or feared. By embracing the principle that money obeys vibration, one gains freedom from struggle, clarity in decision-making, and a profound sense of empowerment. The realization dawns that wealth is not a matter of external circumstance, but of inner frequency. Money is ever present, obedient, and willing to serve, It simply awaits the invitation of a mind and heart aligned with its essence. Those who grasp this truth discover that prosperity is not a distant goal, but a natural consequence of maintaining a vibration attuned to abundance. Every thought, feeling, and word contributes to this vibrational field. By consciously cultivating thoughts of abundance, maintaining feelings of gratitude, and speaking words that reflect confidence and assurance, you shape the energy to which money responds. You are no longer at the mercy of external conditions, but become a master of the unseen law. Money, in this view, is not a separate entity, but an obedient reflection of your inner state, a faithful servant that responds to the clarity, purity, and resonance of your consciousness. Money does not resist, it simply follows the frequency you emit. To live with this awareness is to enter into harmony with the law of the universe, where wealth is ever present, flowing, and responsive. Your thoughts, words, and emotions become instruments of creation, guiding the energy of money to manifest in your life. The more you attune to this principle, the more you experience wealth as a natural, effortless, and obedient companion, forever responsive to the vibration you sustain, reflecting the harmony of your inner world into the outer reality. Speak abundance and abundance answers. This is a truth that has been whispered through the ages, yet too often ignored or misunderstood. Many people move through life, speaking words of limitation, fear, and lack, and they wonder why prosperity seems always just beyond their reach. The spoken word carries power far beyond casual thought. It is the instrument through which invisible forces are commanded to take form. When one consistently speaks abundance, not as wishful thinking, but as firm conviction, the universe responds, and opportunities, money, and blessings begin to appear in perfect accordance with that declaration. The principle behind this is simple yet profound. The universe cannot distinguish between imagination and reality. It responds to the energy and certainty behind your words. When you speak negatively, complaining of scarcity or difficulty, you broadcast a vibration that attracts more scarcity. Your speech, even when unintentional, shapes the conditions of your life. Conversely, when you speak in terms of abundance, affirming wealth, opportunity, and growth, your words carry a magnetic force that draws prosperity toward you. The law is impartial. It does not care about your intent. If your words contradict your inner belief, alignment of thought, feeling, and speech is essential. Speaking abundance is more than repeating affirmations. It is a conscious lifestyle. It requires awareness of how often your words reflect fear or limitation. Many people habitually complain about financial situations, express worry over bills, or lament missed opportunities. Each of these statements reinforces lack and feeds the invisible currents that govern material reality. Speaking abundance, however, transforms every conversation, every declaration, every passing thought into a signal to the universe that you expect prosperity and are ready to receive it. The mind and the spoken word are inseparable in this process. Thoughts become words, and words become the blueprint for action and manifestation. When you speak abundance, you solidify the mental image and the emotional conviction that wealth already exists in your life. This reinforces the inner frequency that attracts the very circumstances you desire. It is a cycle. Words strengthen belief, belief strengthens thought, thought strengthens feeling, and feeling amplifies the vibration that calls abundance into form. To speak abundance effectively, one must cultivate a sense of gratitude alongside expectation. Gratitude is the emotion that colors your words with the energy of sufficiency. When you speak as though your needs are already met, you activate the law of supply. For example, speaking statements such as, "I am blessed with endless opportunities," or "I am receiving wealth in perfect ways every day," carries a frequency that cannot be ignored by the unseen forces. Gratitude confirms the reality of abundance in the heart, and speech broadcasts it to the world. Another aspect of speaking abundance is clarity. Vague or uncertain words produce weak vibrations, whereas precise, confident declarations create a strong magnetic field. Instead of saying, "I hope to have more money someday," One must say, I am attracting wealth now, and it is flowing to me in expected and unexpected ways. Notice the difference. The first statement expresses doubt, the second expresses certainty. The universe responds to certainty. Speaking abundance is a matter of training the mind and tongue to reflect certainty, faith, and unwavering expectation. Many overlook the subtle influence of self-talk. Every word you utter to yourself, whether aloud or in the mind, is a signal to the universe. Negative self-talk blocks abundance, while positive abundance self-talk strengthens it. The inner dialogue is the foundation upon which spoken words build reality. If you speak of lack in your thoughts, even the most confident outward speech will be undermined. Speaking abundance requires that the inner world reflect the outer words. It is not mere lip service, but a resonance of inner conviction with vocal expression. The act of speaking abundance also shapes relationships and opportunities. People are drawn to those who radiate confidence, optimism, and certainty about prosperity. The words you use convey your inner frequency, and others respond accordingly. Opportunities, ideas, and collaborations appear more readily when your speech reflects abundance, because your words attract the circumstances that mirror your vibrational state. In essence, speaking abundance is a form of invisible magnetism that organizes the world around you in accordance with your declarations. Consistency is critical in this practice. Sporadic or half-hearted declarations do not produce the same effect as persistent, unwavering speech aligned with belief. The universe measures not isolated statements, but sustained vibration over time. Each repetition of abundant speech strengthens the energy field of wealth around you. It is similar to tuning a musical instrument. Repeated practice aligns the string, producing a clear, resonant note. Likewise, repeated speech of abundance aligns your consciousness and generates a clear vibration that the universe cannot ignore. It is important to recognize that speaking abundance does not mean ignoring reality or pretending to have what you do not yet see. It is a conscious act of acknowledging the invisible, of claiming the truth of the unseen before it becomes visible. By speaking of abundance as though it already exists, you accelerate its manifestation. This is not denial, it is alignment. You declare to the world, and more importantly to yourself, that your inner state is in harmony with wealth, opportunity, and success. The spoken word becomes the bridge between the invisible realm and tangible results. The creative power of speech is amplified when combined with emotion. Words spoken with feeling carry far more force than those spoken mechanically. Joy, excitement, and gratitude energize your declarations, making them irresistible to the unseen currents that govern prosperity. The vibration behind your speech is the active agent that attracts abundance. The universe responds not to the letters of the words, but to the energy they convey. When you speak with warmth, enthusiasm, and certainty, you broadcast a signal that summons opportunities, resources, and wealth in return. Speaking abundance also involves replacing limiting statements with empowering ones. Every time you catch yourself saying, "I can't afford this," or "I will never have enough," it is an opportunity to reframe and redirect your speech. Instead, you can say, "I am capable of generating wealth," or "Abundance flows to me in perfect ways." Each shift in language shifts the vibration, and each repeated shift strengthens your magnetic pull toward prosperity. Over time, this practice rewires the mind and aligns the energy body with abundance as a constant experience, rather than a fleeting hope. This practice of speaking abundance must permeate every aspect of life, from conversations about money to thoughts about career, opportunities, and personal growth. Each word is a declaration. The more intentional and deliberate your speech, the more effective it becomes. Speaking abundance is not a mere exercise in positivity. It is the conscious use of language to direct the invisible forces that shape reality. It is the most practical, accessible, and immediate method to influence the world around you through the power of thought and vibration. By cultivating the habit of speaking abundance, one begins to perceive the world differently. Opportunities become visible where once there was only challenge. Wealth appears where once there was limitation, and confidence replaces anxiety. Speech becomes a sacred instrument, a tool of creation, and a bridge between imagination and reality. As you consistently affirm abundance, the unseen currents respond, and circumstances begin to reflect the declarations you have made. The energy of your words acts as a conductor, orchestrating the manifestation of prosperity in ways that align perfectly with your vibrational signal. Speaking abundance is a declaration of faith in the infinite supply of the universe. Each word spoken with belief reinforces the invisible law that abundance is everywhere and available to you. It is the conscious choice to claim your right to prosperity, to affirm that your life is already filled with opportunities, resources, and wealth. The spoken word, when coupled with conviction and emotion, becomes the instrument through which invisible energy organizes itself into form, ensuring that abundance not only responds, but flows to meet your every declaration. Gratitude and certainty magnetize prosperity. This is a principle of profound simplicity, yet one that carries immense power in shaping the life of anyone who embraces it. Many people approach wealth with worry, hesitation, and doubt, believing that abundance is earned only through struggle or that it is limited to a few fortunate souls. Yet, in the grand law of the universe, prosperity responds to inner alignment rather than external effort. The vibration of gratitude and the unwavering feeling of certainty are like magnets, drawing wealth and opportunity into your life with ease. Gratitude is not merely a polite acknowledgement of what you have, it is an emotional state that radiates abundance. When you cultivate genuine gratitude for the smallest blessings, you signal to the universe that you recognize and accept the flow of life. This recognition creates a receptive state of being. Money, opportunity, and prosperity are drawn to those who vibrate with thankfulness because they are aligned with the energy of receiving. The feeling of gratitude communicates sufficiency, and in return, the universe amplifies that feeling through material manifestations. Certainty is equally essential. It is the firm assurance that what you desire is already on its way, that the universe is reliable, and that you are worthy of all good. Certainty removes doubt and fear, which are the primary barriers to attracting wealth. Without certainty, efforts are scattered and energy dissipates. When a person acts with confidence and expectation, their vibration becomes coherent, focused, and irresistible to the forces that shape reality. Certainty is the declaration that you trust the unseen, that you accept the infinite supply of life, and that you know abundance flows naturally to you. The combination of gratitude and certainty is particularly powerful. Gratitude opens the heart, softens resistance, and fosters joy, while certainty aligns the mind and spirit with unwavering expectation. Together, they create a magnetic field that attracts prosperity as naturally as the sun draws warmth to the earth. When you are grateful for what you already have, you reinforce the sense of abundance in the present moment. When you are certain that more is coming, you extend that abundance into the future with a confident expectation that knows no fear or limitation. Gratitude also transforms perception. By focusing on what is already present, you shift attention from lack to plenty. This shift changes your vibrational frequency, allowing you to see opportunities where previously there were only obstacles. Every thought and feeling contributes to the invisible patterns that shape your life. The more gratitude you express, the more your energy aligns with abundance, and the universe responds by providing circumstances, resources, and wealth that reflect that inner state. Certainty acts as a stabilizing force in this process. It is one thing to feel thankful, yet another to believe that abundance will continue to flow regardless of present circumstances. Certainty requires trust, faith, and a steady inner conviction that the law of supply is inexhaustible, and that you are fully entitled to participate in it. This unwavering confidence eliminates hesitation, fear, and resistance, which are the primary causes of blocked flow. With certainty, your actions, decisions, and words all align with the energy of abundance, producing results that mirror your inner state. When gratitude and certainty are combined in daily practice, every interaction and experience becomes an opportunity to reinforce abundance. From the way you handle money to the way you speak to others, every thought, word, and action can serve as a signal of alignment with prosperity. Gratitude enhances your vibration by highlighting what is already present, while certainty strengthens your vibration by projecting confidence in the arrival of more. The two together form a harmonic resonance that attracts wealth in ways that are both predictable and extraordinary. Gratitude also carries the energy of acknowledgement and appreciation, which is fundamental to the flow of giving and receiving. The universe operates in cycles of exchange, and when you express genuine gratitude, you create a positive feedback loop. Your recognition of blessings invites more blessings to appear. Money, ideas, opportunities, and solutions respond to this feedback loop, arriving in perfect timing and in alignment with your needs. Certainty ensures that this loop remains uninterrupted, as it eliminates doubts that could weaken the vibration and delay manifestation. Every detail of life is affected by the vibrational influence of gratitude and certainty. When you wake each day with a heart full of thanks and a mind filled with assurance, even ordinary circumstances are transformed into channels of abundance. You notice opportunities you might have missed, solutions appear more readily, and unexpected blessings manifest. The more consistently you maintain this dual focus, the more prosperity seems to flow effortlessly, as if life itself conspires to reward your alignment with its principles. The practice of gratitude and certainty also refines the quality of wealth you attract. Those who cultivate these states do not attract mere financial gain, but richness in experience, relationships, and opportunities. Gratitude makes wealth enjoyable and fulfilling, preventing it from being a source of stress or anxiety. Certainty ensures that this wealth is stable and enduring, as it flows from a deep understanding of the infinite supply rather than temporary circumstances. Together, they attract abundance that is both meaningful and lasting. Gratitude expands consciousness, allowing you to see beyond immediate limitations. When you focus on what is already sufficient, you open your perception to the infinite possibilities that exist beyond your current experience. Certainty anchors this perception, providing a stable framework within which your desires can manifest without doubt or hesitation. The interplay of these two qualities produces a vibrational field that is so strong it naturally attracts circumstances that match it. Money, opportunity, and resources are drawn to this field, responding to the alignment rather than the effort of the individual. Practicing gratitude and certainty requires attention and consistency. It is easy to fall into old habits of complaint, worry, or doubt. Yet each moment offers an opportunity to return to alignment. By consciously expressing thanks for even the smallest blessings, you reinforce the energy of abundance. By maintaining certainty that all your needs will be met and that prosperity is your natural state, you fortify your vibrational field against doubt and fear. Each repetition strengthens the magnetism of your consciousness, attracting wealth and opportunity in increasing measure. The language you use also reinforces the principles of gratitude and certainty. Speaking words of thanks, appreciation, and affirmation strengthens your vibration and communicates to the universe that you are aligned with abundance. Likewise, confident speech that expresses assurance in your prosperity strengthens certainty, providing a clear signal that abundance is not a possibility but a certainty. These verbal expressions become tools for shaping the energy around you, directing it in harmony with your intentions. Even challenges and obstacles can be transformed through gratitude and certainty. When you encounter difficulty, viewing it through the lens of appreciation for lessons and growth maintains alignment with abundance. Certainty ensures that you remain confident in the eventual resolution and the continued flow of prosperity. Together, these states prevent setbacks from creating resistance or fear, preserving the strength of your magnetic field and allowing wealth to continue flowing toward you. Gratitude and certainty also enhance creativity and problem solving. A mind attuned to abundance is not constrained by lack. It sees possibilities, opportunities, and solutions that might otherwise remain hidden. This creative energy draws resources, ideas, and partnerships into alignment with your goals. Certainty reinforces the belief that solutions will appear and that resources will flow, reducing hesitation and enabling inspired action. Gratitude maintains an open heart, ensuring that opportunities are recognized and welcomed when they arise. The combination of gratitude and certainty cultivates a sense of ease and confidence in financial matters. Decisions are made with clarity, risk is assessed with balance, and resources are utilized effectively. Wealth becomes a natural extension of your inner state, rather than something to be pursued through struggle. The magnetic force created by gratitude and certainty attracts abundance that matches your vibrational signature, producing results that are consistent, fulfilling, and aligned with your highest good. When practiced consistently, gratitude and certainty transform the experience of life itself. Every interaction, decision, and opportunity becomes a reflection of abundance. The energy of these states radiates outward, influencing the circumstances and people around you, and creating a life in which wealth and prosperity are natural, effortless, and continuous. By maintaining a heart full of thanks and a mind anchored in unwavering assurance, you align with the law of attraction in its most potent form, drawing to you all that you require to live a life of abundance and fulfillment. The feeling of truth is the key to manifestation. This is a principle often overlooked in the pursuit of wealth and success, yet it is the very foundation upon which all abundance is built. Many people attempt to attract prosperity through force, willpower, or external effort, believing that actions alone can bring results. Yet the outer world is merely a reflection of the inner state. What you truly feel to be real, what you accept as your inner truth, becomes the blueprint for your life. Wealth, opportunity, and success respond not to mere wishes or intellectual understanding, but to the intensity of your inner conviction. The feeling of truth is more than thinking something is true. It is the deep, unshakable recognition within the heart and mind that a particular statement, reality, or principle is absolute. When it comes to prosperity, this feeling is the cornerstone of manifestation. When you feel the truth of abundance, when you experience it as a living reality inside yourself, the universe cannot resist reflecting that inner state in your outer life. The invisible responds to the conviction of your inner reality, shaping events, circumstances, and material outcomes to match the vibration of your belief. Many people fail to recognize the power of feeling in the creation of wealth because they focus solely on logic or external effort. They study financial strategies, accumulate knowledge, and work tirelessly, yet they remain disconnected from the inner vibration that gives life to manifestation. Without the feeling of truth, actions are empty and words are hollow. The universe responds to the energy behind thoughts and speech, not the superficial repetition of ideas. It is the emotional, heartfelt acceptance of truth that energizes creation and brings it into form. Feeling the truth of abundance requires a shift in consciousness. It is not enough to say, "I am wealthy," if the mind secretly doubts it or the heart feels unworthy. True manifestation requires that your inner state harmonizes with your declarations. You must cultivate a living, breathing certainty that wealth, opportunity, and prosperity are your natural state. This is not wishful thinking, it is a deep alignment with reality as it exists in the invisible realm. When your inner world reflects this truth, the outer world has no choice but to mirror it. The law of attraction operates precisely through this principle. That which you accept as real in your mind and heart determines the pattern of your life. Thoughts alone are insufficient. They must be accompanied by the corresponding feeling. The feeling of truth transforms ideas into energetic signals which magnetize corresponding circumstances. Every person, consciously or unconsciously, vibrates according to the truths they hold. Those who feel abundance experience it naturally, while those who feel lack perpetuate it in endless cycles. The feeling of truth also acts as a filter, determining what enters your life. When your inner state resonates with prosperity, only circumstances, opportunities, and relationships that match that vibration can settle into your experience. Fear, doubt, and disbelief act as blocks, preventing the flow of wealth and abundance. Conversely, when the feeling of truth is strong and unwavering, These barriers dissolve, and the universe flows freely, providing resources, solutions, and guidance that align perfectly with your inner state. Feeling truth requires honesty with oneself. It is a recognition that abundance is not something to be earned through struggle or external validation, but something to be aligned with internally. Many people resist this idea because it challenges the belief that wealth is scarce or that only certain individuals are deserving. Yet the truth is universal. Prosperity is not limited. It responds to the frequency of your consciousness. When you cultivate the feeling that you are already deserving and that supply is infinite, the universe moves to make that truth visible in your life. The intensity of feeling amplifies its creative power. Strong, vivid emotions act as energy, transmitting a signal that the universe responds to with precision. Joy, certainty, and gratitude are particularly potent, as they carry high vibrational energy that harmonizes with abundance. When you combine thought with a deep, heartfelt feeling of truth, manifestation accelerates. The outer world begins to mirror the inner state with remarkable accuracy, arranging people, events, and circumstances to match the vibration of your conviction. Feeling truth also transforms obstacles into opportunities. When challenges arise, a person who aligns with the feeling of abundance does not experience frustration or fear. Instead, they perceive the situation as a temporary reflection, a lesson, or a stepping stone to greater prosperity. This inner certainty prevents resistance from forming, allowing energy to flow freely toward manifestation. The feeling of truth maintains a steady vibration even in the face of apparent setbacks, ensuring that abundance continues to be drawn into your life. The power of feeling truth extends to words and actions. Words spoken without feeling carry little force, but words imbued with inner conviction become energetic declarations that shape reality. Similarly, actions performed without alignment to inner truth are mechanical and lack creative power. But when actions are inspired by the certainty of abundance and guided by the feeling of truth, they become vehicles for manifestation. They move in harmony with invisible currents, producing results that feel effortless and natural. Visualization alone is insufficient unless it is accompanied by the corresponding feeling of truth. Seeing wealth, success, or opportunities in the mind's eye is only part of the process. Feeling these realities as true internally is what energizes them. The universe responds to the emotional intensity of your inner state. When you feel as though your desires are already fulfilled, you create a magnetic field that draws them into tangible form. The more consistent and vivid the feeling, the stronger the signal, and the more rapid the manifestation. Feeling truth also shapes identity. When you feel yourself as inherently abundant, you begin to act in ways that reflect that reality. Confidence replaces hesitation, generosity replaces fear, and inspired action replaces struggle. Your behavior, decisions, and relationships all align with the vibration of prosperity, reinforcing and expanding the field of manifestation. The inner state of truth thus creates an outward pattern that is consistent, coherent, and magnetic to wealth and opportunity. Resistance is dissolved through feeling truth. Doubts, fears, and limiting beliefs weaken the vibrational signal, causing delays or frustration. But when you maintain the inner certainty of your abundance, these obstacles are neutralized. The feeling of truth creates a field of alignment so powerful that circumstances must adjust to match it. Challenges become temporary reflections, easily navigated, because the vibrational dominance of inner truth is stronger than any external condition. The principle also emphasizes patience and trust. Feeling truth is not about forcing results or measuring outcomes through immediate evidence. It is about cultivating a state of inner certainty, knowing that the universe responds to alignment and trusting that manifestation will occur in perfect timing. This trust prevents anxiety and doubt, allowing energy to flow without interruption. Every thought, feeling, and word, when aligned with the feeling of truth, contributes to a magnetic field that attracts wealth, resources, and opportunity effortlessly. Feeling truth is also cumulative. Each moment spent in alignment, each thought reinforced by conviction, Each emotion, synchronized with the reality of abundance, strengthens the vibrational field. Over time, this internal consistency produces a tangible pattern in life, where opportunities and prosperity appear naturally and reliably. The universe does not need to be persuaded. It simply mirrors the energy you sustain. The stronger and more authentic the feeling of truth, the more powerful the manifestation becomes. This principle requires continuous attention and mindfulness. Old habits of fear, limitation, or doubt can resurface, weakening the signal. It is essential to consciously cultivate the feeling of truth daily through thought, emotion, speech, and action. By consistently maintaining this inner state, you ensure that your vibrational frequency remains aligned with abundance. Every decision, every interaction, and every intention is thus infused with the magnetic power of inner conviction, creating a life in which wealth, opportunity, and prosperity are natural extensions of your inner reality. Feeling truth is also about alignment with universal principles. It recognizes that prosperity is not external, finite, or conditional, but infinite, accessible and responsive to your inner state. When you truly feel this as a reality, your consciousness becomes a conduit through which abundance flows. The invisible currents of life respond immediately, bringing circumstances, resources, and opportunities into alignment with the inner truth you maintain. This principle transforms the pursuit of wealth from a struggle into an effortless, conscious co-creation with the unseen forces of the universe. The feeling of truth, therefore, is the ultimate instrument of manifestation. It governs the energy behind your thoughts, words, and actions, shaping reality in exact accordance with your inner conviction. By cultivating a deep, unwavering sense of truth about abundance, by feeling it as real, alive, and inevitable, you create a vibrational field that magnetizes wealth, opportunity, and prosperity. Every element of life aligns with this internal state, proving that the secret to manifestation is not external effort, but the authentic, heartfelt recognition of truth within the mind, heart, and soul.